Okay, 1 second. So, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve minutes from 5:14.
Yes.
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Yes. One.
Wait, can I add something to the agenda?
Oh, this is the
Oh,
minutes.
never mind.
Minutes. You're good, Ryan. Okay, wait. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All against? You're against?
No, sorry.
Oh, so 7. All against? All abstaining? 1, 2. Who am I missing? Oh, no. Okay, there's 10 of us. Oh, me, sorry about that. Okay, by a motion of 7 to 0 to 2, the motion passes, the minutes are approved. Okay, let's move on to approval of the agenda. Do we have any edits, amendments to the agenda before we move it? Yeah, Ryan.
We have capital contingency.
Yes, we're about to do 2 votes on this. So, it's gonna be an action item vote, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
So, it's 2/3 vote, is that correct, Dr. Geller? To add an action item to the agenda? Okay, we're gonna make this motion now? Okay, so can I get a motion to add capital contingency allocations to the agenda?
I motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All against? All abstaining? Lily, what's your vote?
What?
Sorry,
Sorry.
capital contingency action item?
Yeah.
Do you in favor?
Sure.
Okay, cool. By a motion of 9 to 0 to 0, the motion passes. Capital contingency is added to the agenda as an action item. Other amendments to the agenda? Yes. Okay, can we strike the advocacy grant, Kim? Yeah, Jonathan.
I'm sorry, SFS and my office report.
SFS and officer report, can we ask?
Can I strike travel grant any allocations and academic success referendum?
Yes, Kim, you got all this?
Sorry.
Days is to,
Yeah.
And did you get Jonathan's too, Kim?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. And Kalechi?
strike the card.
Awesome. Okay, does everybody else still want their officer reports? Awesome, that's great. Okay, any other amendments? Can you repeat the amendments you're making to the agenda?
Sorry.
Can you repeat the amendments that you're making to the agenda?
So adding capital contingency, striking crew and advocacy grant allocation, SFS allocation, ASRF and ARC.
Awesome. So can I get a, oh, and Jonathan's officer. Okay, and then can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Before there, you need a motion to add the names of the individuals in the plan.
Oh,
You have a position, you don't have individuals.
okay, so Christy and Nadia, Nadia, I don't know your last name. Please.
K-O-N,
Okay, also Nadia. Nadia.
I-Y-U,
Okay, Nadia.
K-O-N, Y-U-K,
CEY.
U-K.
Okay, and then Christy. I got you. Sorry, give me a second. And that's my fault for not telling you, but yeah, sorry about that. Okay, it's just this like a regular simple majority, I'm assuming every other amendment. Okay,
Action items.
yes, okay. Can I get a approval of the agenda? Yes, awesome. Okay, all in favor? 1, 2 to approve the agenda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, awesome. I motion to 9 to 0 to 0. The motion passes and the agenda is approved. Okay, let's move right into it. Contingency programming, right?
Yes, so 67 applications. There were no USAC groups, it was all non-USAC entities. The total required was $155,781.96. The total requested was $44,404.53, and the total recommendation is $26,816.
So somebody who remembered that last number just needs to make a motion
$26,816.
to non-USAC entities. Awesome. Thank you, Todd. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My motion of 9-0-0, literacy programming is approved for this week. Capital contingency.
Okay, so for capital contingency, there's one allocation for a USAC entity, in the amount of $740.
That's my entity, since I don't have to vote. I'm de facto overstated. So, yes. Questions? OP desperately needs a printer and a new whiteboard. So that is why we applied. I get a motion. Yes. Yes. Awesome. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can just abstain. All against? All abstaining. Awesome. By a motion of 9-0-1, the motion passes, and capital contingency allocations are approved for this week. Thank you, Ryan. All Ryan, is that Ryan? Okay, let's move on to, SWC programming fund allocations. This is consent item though.
I don't have the amount requested, but the amount allocated was nothing from one non-USAC for one non-USAC entity because they requested food and essence programming fund and not fund.
Does this, Dr. Geller, does no allocation need to be consent item approved by council still?
If there is no allocation, you don't need to have a vote.
Nice.
Just skip it.
Okay, we'll skip that then.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, you're fine. Let's move into public comment. So we're going to start with, I'll wait for Kim. No audio, no video, and then audio, no video, and then audio, no video. Some community guidelines, challenge ideas, not individuals, gender inclusive and respectful language. From CAC, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from accountability. Each speaker will be given 2 minutes and the opportunity to speak once. No dehumanizing language. With that, are you ready? Awesome. We'll move into no audio, no video first. Be audio and video.
Okay, so there will be audio at least throughout the entire.
Well, our portion just now had no audio.
Okay,
So
but
now
from
it's
now on,
yes,
yeah.
from now on, yeah. So audio, no video. Okay, audio and video. Let's start with the top row and move back.
Hi guys, my name is Sakara. I'm the chapter chair for Calibre students at UCLA. I just wanted to let you guys know some pretty exciting news that we have. So we've been working to ban polystyrene, or what's commonly known as styrofoam. It gets our oceans, it fills up our landfill, and it takes over 500 years to break down. And two of the bills that we've been working to pass in the California State Legislature, 1080 and SB 54, both just passed on the Appropriations Committee. So we're really optimistic that they'll actually move forward. And if not passed this year, actually gain a lot of traction to move forward to actually be able to ban all of these single-use plastics next year. Also, we've been working with Karen Hedges, the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs Office, on a lot of cool stuff on trying to make the 2020 election more accessible to students, making registering to vote easier. And so we're really excited that we're going to have infographics and all of the new student orientation packets educating students on how, when, why, what address to use when they register to vote, as well as we're working to put together a UCLA portal on the website and a notification that pops up to allow students to register to vote online through My UCLA. So that'll be a really cool step forward in actually making it a lot more accessible and easier for students to vote, especially because a lot of college students, it is our first time actually having that opportunity, and it can be extremely difficult to figure out how to register to vote and how to vote for the first time in a new place. And we also just had our art gallery for our Zero Hunger campaign. So we had portraits, a poem, and individual stories of students who have experienced food insecurity. So we had that in Kirkhoff Art Gallery last week. So if you guys were able to come check it out, I hope you liked it. But we're really excited about how that went, that we were able to shed some light on the stories of food insecurity that usually go hidden at our school. So that's what we were up to this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Go to the second. Okay, final call for any form of public comment before we move on. Okay, sweet, thank you. So the next part of our agenda is appointments. Nadia and Christy are both appointments from my office. Thank you all for coming out. So the way appointments work usually is that we give about a 1-minute introduction, a 5-minute question and answer, which is usually extended for a lot of appointments, and then a 1-minute closing. So we're going to start with Nadia first. I'm just going to start first by introducing you a little bit. Nadia this year is our vice chair of the finance committee. It has been tradition in the past that the vice chair will become chair upon the retirement or absence of the chair. Brian, I know that you've worked extensively with Nadia. I've seen Nadia here at council. I've also seen Christy here at council doing really good work. So I appreciate you both coming out and taking questions from us. I'll hand it off to you, and then also Brian, if you want to put in a word or two as well.
Sure, I'll try to be brief. I first met Nadia 2 years ago at the Enormous Activities Fair. At the time, I was the vice chair of the finance committee, and we had never really been to the Enormous Activities Fair before, and I was pretty unprepared. So I went to SGA, I made a bunch of flyers and roughly taped them to this table we had in front of Wilson Plaza. And I spoke to a lot of people that day, but Nadia was the only person who pointed out that I spelled finance wrong, and she quickly fixed it. I can't imagine what she was thinking, because finance is literally in her name, so that was not my best day. But Nadia was one of 2 people who joined the committee that year. Over the past 2 years, I've been able to witness her dedication and commitment to the finance committee. She's one of the hardest working, most brilliant people I know. She goes above and beyond, and I'm always amazed by her desire to take on additional responsibilities. I have absolute confidence in her ability to serve in this role, and I don't believe there's anyone more prepared to do so. This year's Enormous Activities Fair, Nadia spent the entire day talking to RCOs about funding and the funding process. She literally talked to hundreds of organizations and passed out hundreds of flyers. And I think this is just a small example of Nadia's work ethic and her dedication to the finance committee and student funding. I could spend all day talking about this. I really believe she's one of the best people I know. I hope you all confirm her appointment tonight and have the opportunity to work with her, and I can't see what's in store for her.
Thank you, Ryan. That was really sweet. So just a 1-minute informal introduction. It doesn't have to be 1 minute. Whatever you're comfortable with. You can sit to it if you want. And then after this, ARC will reveal what their recommendation was, if they had a recommendation. And then we'll move to a discussion and then a vote.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I feel like they just stole my entire speech, but my name is Nadia. I'm a 3rd-year business economics major here. So I've been on the finance committee for 2 years. We've literally said everything. But yeah, I really hope to continue working on the finance committee next year and working with all of you guys, helping you with any finance things that you need help with. And yeah, just really excited for the possibility.
So now we're going to move into a question and answer, which is council members will ask you absolutely any questions they have. I'll start. Obviously, you've been at council meetings a few times before. I think the last council meeting, for example. How do you handle stressful situations? Even being at council, and I'm sure Ryan will talk about this, is maybe not being someone who's necessarily vocal in those stressful situations, but just being in an environment like this, which can get pretty stressful sometimes. how like you handled situations like that in the past, since you will be sitting with us at the table every Tuesday.
I think they have a pretty high stress. So, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Council members. Yes, John?
What do you think is the importance of the role of finance within USAC and things?
I mean, I think it's super important because it basically funds the events that go on, the opportunities that students get, things that they get as part of their student experience. So that's one of the things that what I really love about being part of the finance committee, is just like being there for student works and helping them put on the coolest events that they can. So.
Yeah, speaking of student works, which orgs are you a part of? If any.
I'm a part of Grace on Campus. And
Anybody? Oh, yes, ma'am.
What are your ideas, if any, if you have any like critiques about the way finance works right now? What are your visions of like improving it?
yeah, so something that we've been working on this year and that I hope to keep working on next year is just like our accessibility for students, reaching out more to students and giving them more access to funding sources and information, and making it easier for them, guiding through the process. Yeah.
Aside from like enormous activities fair, and it's okay like to not have like super specific ideas. Are there any ideas that you've been like thinking of about how to engage student orgs? Who like maybe never even heard of contingency before?
Yeah, one of the ideas that I had was to partner more with Soul, which is like the organization that like helps use student orgs when they don't just learn, I guess. So they have to like go through this workshop process that gives them all the information about how to start a student organization. So I really want to partner with them in those workshops and adding in like a funding section so that like we could educate them like right as the org is formed and like give them the information that we need.
Awesome. Other questions? Okay. With that, you can just move into like the 1 minute closing. Any last things you want to say? And I guess like, okay, one last question I have. Sorry. What do you view your role as at the council table?
I hope to be there for whatever financial matters that you guys have. I know I'm talking briefly with Alexia and Kim about helping them with their budgets for their offices. So that's something that we also want to talk more about for next year. So, yeah.
And any 1 minute closing?
Okay. Thank you all so much for listening. I really hope to work with you all next year, and I'm really excited for this opportunity. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Come by my office anytime. I'll be more than happy to work with you guys.
Okay, so the next portion of this will be ARC. So Kim's our chair of ARC will say your recommendation, and then if each individual member of ARC wants to say why they voted the way that they voted, that's usually the way the process works, and then we open it up to all council discussion, and then there's a motion to approve.
With a 3-0 vote, appointments for committee approves, audio comes for, financial committee chairperson.
And do each of you all want to give a brief reason why, what questions were asked?
Yes, so I personally voted, to approve your appointment because I saw a lot of potential in you. I saw that you're very passionate about your work, that you're really willing to take a step, that step to help out the different student organizations that are seeking your help. And I know that you will do a very good job in outreaching to different student organizations as well as working with the different USAC offices for the whole academic year.
I voted for you. I feel like it's obvious. But I feel like Nadia displayed sufficient knowledge of like her position, what she's stepping into, and I feel confident about her ability to effectively and efficiently carry out the job of funding chairperson. Yeah, I was excited to hear about the things you're doing to improve the problems you felt like you guys have had with this year, like in the past. So looking forward to your staff of 9. And, yeah.
I voted for you because you were very passionate about what you did, and I think in this role you need the passion, and we all saw that passion in you. It was very nice to see that you actually cared not only about being a title chair, but also about all the folks in organizations actually benefiting from your resources, and I think you'll do a great job next year, and best of luck. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna get back on, so, but yeah, best of luck.
Sweet. So now we just open this up to a discussion. And if there is no discussion, that's also okay, but for a motion. So if you were to do a motion, it would be I motion to approve / disapprove of, disapprove Nadia Kamzuk for Finance Committee Chair.
I motion to approve Nadia Kamzuk for Finance Committee Chair.
I second the motion.
2 seconds. Okay, so all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sweet. So by a motion of 10 to 0 to 0, the motion passes and Nadia's approved. And briefly, can we also give a round of applause to Ryan, our outgoing vice Ryan, you've been absolutely incredible. Nadia, you have very big shoes to fill. I think you can do it. You're going to be missed, Ryan. I'll still be bugging you. Don't worry. Okay. Thank you. And if you will, you all can switch too if you want. Yeah.
Can I read this stuff together? Like, she, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna look up Ryan's name on Facebook. It's gonna be blocked. He's graduating. Thank you.
You guys want me to say something about Christy? Right?
Huh?
You wanted me to say something about Christy too, so I'm just gonna
Oh, yes.
stick
Yes.
around for a minute.
That, yes. Next is, so with that, Christy Day, Budget Review Director. I'll just start by saying, obviously, you have been here a lot this year for council. Every time we get it approved, you come in and give us your spiel for BRC allocations. Thank you for being very active this year. I've seen the work we've done. This was a very easy appointment for you to do a great job of that coming year. With that, I do want to hand it off to Ryan and then hand it off to you.
Okay. So as you may or may not be aware, Christy did serve as the Budget Review Director this past year. And serving with her this past year has been an immense pleasure. When I met her 2 years ago, she was the Assistant Budget Review Director, and I was super excited to meet someone from the same area code because there's not a lot of folks from the Central Valley here. So it's been cool to kind of, be partners through this whole funding apparatus. This past year, Christy served as a Budget Review Director. There's literally no one more qualified for this position. Her passion and dedication for student orgs and student funding has inspired me, and I'm excited to see how she will elevate the office and student funding in the next year.
So hello, I'm Christy Bain. I am applying for the Budget Review Director position again. I have a strong passion in helping a lot of student orgs on campus. I involve myself in many organizations that are cultural and educational. And for me, I enjoy going to the office every single day. As long as I have a break or two, I will spend my free time going to the office, making sure to greet the student government office, and I just love it so much. And I hope that I can continue doing the work for the company.
Thank you. Questions for Christy? John?
Doing a position for a second year, I think often breeds complacency. So how do you plan to avoid that?
Right. So the thing is that even though I was a budget review this year, I've seen a lot of challenges and difficulties with the position. For instance, some of the difficulties and challenges that we experienced was that there were a lot of glitches and problems with the USAC page. A lot of student organizations couldn't have their application going through, and therefore we couldn't approve their application, and it would be too late to approve of it. And so this year, which is why right now, this quarter, I'm spending most of my time transferring the USAC or like the fund site to the MyUCLA portal, which is more efficient, and there wouldn't be any more like difficulties with having problems with application going through. I'm trying my best to outreach as well. This year, I've increased my communication with SOL, with the student government office, making sure that every student organization gets the email along with the SOL advisors. I try my best to send out the emails during the summer to SOL advisors to make sure that they have all the deadlines possible. And so I want to increase the communication even more for the next school year. And so hopefully that will increase, like, will help other students realize that, like, I'm not only doing the same thing, but I'm trying to make it better for them.
Sorry. So you talked about how you have a passion for student orgs. Why specifically finance in a way?
Right. Something that I always tell people is that, like, my job is supposed to make it easier for everyone else. Without us realizing it, when they put on events on campus, they're creating history for UCLA, which is why UCLA is such a great school, because the student leaders who are passionate about it. And for me, I care about other people's well-being and other people's passion as well, because that's what drives people to succeed in life, and that's what I passionately love to do. I love making sure that everyone is doing what's beneficial for everyone else. When students put on organizations and events on campus, they're not doing it for themselves, but they're doing it for other students as well. And being able to witness that is like the most beautiful thing like I can see with this position. Right. So I am involved in BSU Modern, which is a competitive dance team. I'm also involved in CCLAIR, which is Southeast Asian community, and I'm involved in a lot of Southeast Asian community individually, such as the Thai Student Association, United for My Students, Association of Home Students, and Circle K and Alpha Phi Omega. So I like to do a lot of community service, educational, mentorship programs.
I guess the obvious follow-up to this is, how do you balance all of that? How do you talk about how you did that as passionate?
Well, I keep two planners. I have like a phone calendar and a passion planner. Just in case, like if I forget my phone or my phone dies, at least I have a planner to look for towards too. And I do what's like my priorities. So for instance, like of course, like schoolwork is my priority, and then it comes to budget review director, and then it would go towards like obviously dance because that's a lot of time commitment, and then the rest would just go through passion. For instance, like community service, I can figure out when I want free time, and I want to do it, when I'm able to do it. So a lot of these things I can manage it pretty well, and I have a lot of strong communication with other student boards, so they are very respectful towards my time, and they tell me like the events that are more important and mandatory for me to attend. So I'm pretty good at managing my time.
Awesome. Any other questions from Ms. Steve? Okay, with that, please will be one minute closely. Later, Steve.
Well, thank you for hearing me, and I hope I answered all the questions. I hope that I can continue doing this job for everyone else, and if there's anything that I can help guide you through, whether it's requisition form or the fund specifically, I'm willing to spend time to help you understand how the process works. But I hope that I can work with you all, and thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, with a 3-0 vote, the Finance Review Committee approves your appointment as the next budget review director. That's the same thing. I personally voted for you because I saw how knowledgeable you are. You took the time to really explain to us the logarithm of how you all do your discretionary discretionary budgeting. I saw how passionate you were in terms of helping out the different student organizations that you're involved with, as well as the different organizations that are on campus. You even took the time to print out those little pamphlets and talk to different students when doing the workshops with Soul, and you really care about making sure that different student organizations are accessing these different funding opportunities on campus.
And Christy obviously has the experience as a current budget review director, but in talking with her, it was really clear that she's passionate about helping people and carrying out her role. I'm really confident in you because of the way that you're so precisely able to pinpoint like the difficulties that you have this year and how you intend to improve them. So it's like very clear that you're one that is upward and improving. It's also really clear that you care about doing this work and making these funds available and expanding like your outreach to make funding more accessible to groups on campus. So I felt good about that. And I also would like to say I was really pleased to hear about the way that you try to be like lenient and follow up with boards who like may have incomplete applications, because I feel like it's just really important to be empathetic and understanding with funding, because not everyone has like that institutional knowledge the first time around. And so you are very clearly aware of that and thinking about it. So that's good.
Christy was very, not only passionate and knowledgeable, but she's also very ambitious. She knew what she wanted to accomplish. She learned a lot this year in her role, and she had very clear goals and ideas, and I think it was very refreshing to see how clear-minded, and I think you'll do a great job. Best of luck. We're really active right now.
So with that, also, before I go into that, some council members will be, I was not on BRC last year, but will be working with you throughout the year. So do you all want to raise your hands, just so Christy might already know, but Tahika, Jonathan, and then Naomi. So you'll be working with her. Please get to know each other. With that, we can move to a discussion or a motion.
What is the phrase? I mean, I motion to approve
Christy, then.
Chrissy Davis.
Okay. All, let's do on the seconds. Okay. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 9. All against, and all abstaining.
I was out of the room.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. By motion of 9-0-1, Christy Vang is approved as our next budget review director. Thank you so much. You do not have to stay the whole council, obviously. You're good to go. Right? So we're here if you want to go.
Can I just say something really briefly?
Of course.
I know 2 weeks ago when y'all got sworn in, everyone gave you guys a lot of advice, but I just like wanted to talk about my experience a little bit. Honestly, coming into this, I had no idea how much this experience would mean to me and how much like it would have affected me. Like a year ago, I would have told you like, you don't know what you're talking about. But honestly, like use this time, value this time. You all have 50 weeks left before the next people come in, and it's gonna go by so fast. Like you all have plans, you have things you want to get done. Like you should like start yesterday. So I just want to say good luck. I know everyone in this room is so amazing. I'm so proud and excited for all of you. If you ever need anything, let me know. I'm still gonna be around. Yeah, good night.
Thank you, Ryan. You will be great with this. You were incredible. It's my comfort to have for you. Okay, so next on the agenda, we are done with appointments today. That was great. We're going to move into officer reports. So, oh God, this is going to be really spontaneous. I'm sorry. Appointments, my student appointments, our email blast will be going out this Thursday. One of y'all changed the top to say, quote unquote, "What up, Bruins?" I had to change that a little bit. I had to change that to make that a little bit more formal. Because you did that.
No, I didn't. I forgot.
There were some things like that have changed, but overall it's still the same with our applications. There should be a test email that I'm going to get, probably tomorrow this week. Okay, and, do you like want a last minute application added, I guess? Just reach out to me. I think all the applications were included. If you included it on there, it was included.
If anything's not in there and you started it, then it has to start the process over.
Okay.
And so it'll go out around the 5th, 6th of June.
I would really prefer that we do not do that. So unless there's something incredibly urgent that needs to be changed, that would be great. Yes. Your link was on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what I did with mine was I said that it was going to be due last Friday, and I just extended it. Obviously, it's your all's discretion if you want to close it, and then the people who might apply from that email will not get the option to apply. I personally feel like a lot of students don't even know that applications were out there, because like most of the publicity we do is just via our own social media circles. So the purpose of this is that literally all 32,000 students are going to see this email with the applications. So like, in my personal opinion, I'm going to reopen my application just to be like as accessible as possible to students who might not have been in my like social media circles. So I would encourage you all to do that. Obviously, it's your all's offices and your all's staff. So please, by all means, make the best decision for your all's offices, because I know some of you all have very pressing work that requires staffs to act very quickly too. So, does that answer your question? Okay, awesome. I will say that having 2 deadlines is beneficial because everybody applies last minute. So I set my deadline and then a bunch of people apply and I was like, JK, it's extended. So that strategy's good, it works. Okay. Other than that, what are my other, I met with, this is kind of just like things that I've been doing lately. I've been going around to different communities and meeting with leaders that I haven't really been a part of. I had a really beneficial meeting yesterday with Justin and other members of Hillel, and student leaders within Hillel. That was really great, and I appreciate you all welcoming me into that space. So thank you for that. Trying to continue to do that and just make sure that my appointments process specifically is being reached out to as many different communities as possible. So please continue to spread the fact that there is a basically all-encompassing appointments application. We've gotten some applications. We're going to continue to do appointments throughout the next couple of weeks. It would be great if you all continue to spread the word on that. Other than that, next week, I have a pre-meeting with Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs Monroe Gordon on Thursday with Claire to just discuss our transition. And then next week, I have a meeting with Suzanne Sepla and other members from Just Life to discuss some issues surrounding like queer inclusivity on the Hill, specifically with like language we're using about like menstrual hygiene products on the Hill, and then also like our current housing policies as they stand for those who want to opt out of like same-sex assignments for housing. So that meeting is next week. We'll see how it goes. I think it will go well. That's it for me. So let's move on to IBP.
So my burger applications just closed last night, but I'm most likely going to again to make a new deadline and be on Friday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything, the only thing I do,
I've been applications since I get the draft last Thursday, but the closing is tonight. Maybe tomorrow. General staff applications will be going out Thursday, and I guess I'm extending it. I don't know by how much, but I'll be extending it. I know I'm having applications for a lot of positions.
Robert, press the mic there.
Regarding the resolution, regardless of whether the resolution passes or not, we are having, and working, co-programming, individually, not on behalf of the office, some office speech and deportation awareness events. First part was last Thursday, second part is this Thursday, and if you want to know about other events, you cannot make it to this Thursday's awareness event, which will be a forum, and you can
about that. And
So let's move on to fact.
Hi. I closed my staff app and I'm interviewing today, tomorrow, and the day before. Everyone's great. I'm super excited. We're going to be officially hiring them all Wednesday night and then having like a meet and greet with staff and project groups Thursday. I have a meeting with Dean DeLuca tomorrow to discuss my upcoming projects, especially address the needs of the MSA and the ASU spaces. Those are my main things. I have my appointment app out. I'm sharing it on social media. And this is just like fun, but the first Friday of June, my office is going to First Fridays via Blue Bus to publicize public transit discounts for UCLA students. So if you guys are interested, like, you can come.
What is that?
It's 2 Fridays from now. It's like the first Friday of June. I think it's like the 6th or 7th. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. CEC.
Not much to report because we're rounding off on all of our stuff, but we have also put on, I reported on last week, but still it's happening next Friday. The lineup will drop on Monday, so look after that, because it's really good. I will use the again and we have another new meeting that will be really soon. So yeah, we got that. Last Friday, I got to work with Cameo, which is like a Latin story on campus that goes with social advocacy, community service, and like they brought high school students here, and I got to talk to them about the interest in like what that's so cool to talk to high school students. I love working with children and students. And then also TSR is hiring still, please apply. We have like 2 or 3 executive board positions still open, and then we're like applications until like sometime in June.
SWC has like help with. Okay, pretty soon. SWC.
Hi all, so is this on?
Yeah.
Cool. So SWC leadership staff is all set for the 1920 academic year. Yay. We had our first transition meeting earlier today. Feeling really optimistic about that. Body Image Task Force has its annual Beauty and You photo exhibit in Kirchhoff Art Gallery, June 10th through 14th, to showcase members of the student body and what they love most about themselves and why. Definitely just walk through and have it brighten your day a little bit. Active Minds had mental health networking night yesterday, super successful, another annual event, and a new event currently going on for 5 more minutes, Music in Mind concert at the Ballard Amphitheater. And then coming up, Brew Necessities is going to have dental fair, menstrual hygiene fair, and an oral health fair on the Hill, on Bloom Plaza, and on the Hill again, respectively. Yeah, so next week 9.
Let's get the ISR real quick.
So not a lot, but our forms are out, so we're looking for people to apply, so please spread the word. And it does not have to be only international students, anyone, everyone is welcome to work in the office. So again, just spreading out, and we're trying to I'm trying to start talking to Joshua about making the new students, the orientations, more friendly to international students, and we kind of talk to them, build relationships, so we can have our table at iStart, which is this thing that Dashi does. With every international student has to go to get their visa.
Let's go to AAC.
Hi everyone, so AAC is currently still hiring too. We closed our staff applications last night, but I think I'm going to reopen them for Robert's brilliant idea of making sure that AAC is as diverse as possible and making sure that communities that haven't had a chance to apply get the opportunity to apply. I'm still going to be carrying out interviews because I need like a staff, pretty soon, so I'm doing that. We're also looking and finishing up our appointment applications too. Three appointments that I have to make. Robert and I share one of those appointments, so we've been equally publicizing, trying to get people to apply. I've been also meeting with folks who are interested, but just want a little bit more clarification about what their role entails and about how we're gonna incorporate the appointments into the AC office better. I also have a meeting soon with Taylor Lane, who is the administrative assistant for the Academic Senate, to talk about how we can better facilitate the Academic Senate appointments this upcoming year and making sure that all the spaces are filled with students who are very passionate about each of the committees. So that's what we're doing.
Hey y'all, PAC is still hiring, our applications close Friday. Now I'm kind of conflicted because I do want to leave them open, but it would also make it really difficult for my directors to do so. Honestly, I don't know. Either way, Jazz Radio Fest is on Monday. I think that's the biggest thing we have coming, it's definitely the biggest thing we have coming up. Otherwise, no other updates. Actually, no, an update. Working on finding my art fund chair. I'm gonna do this for that today. No other updates.
Okay, I have one more additional thing before we move on to acting rep, sorry. Oh, Jim, you're back too, level. Yeah, let's go to you first, yeah.
I have no updates aside from the fact that I'll be dropping my staff applications tomorrow. I've been lying on that, but they'll be releasing tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay, my update is this. And I hate to say the word elections, but I'm going to say it because we need to act on this. So there was a new election board Facebook page, as you all know, that was used and not heavily publicized. It has 189 people that like it compared to the previous 2,000 or whatever, or 1,500 that like the old one. So if everyone could do me a favor, and I'm talking about council members, and like go on your Facebook right now. We're just going to do this step by step because this will help. I promise you, this will help us tremendously in the long run. So
Before we do that, I have a question.
Yes.
Why can't we get
because our former election board chair has refused to give access to any prior election board social media, emails, or anything else that were used as those mechanisms.
even through UAT, like there's no way to get it back?
Dr. Young?
There's nothing administratively that can fix it, and Facebook doesn't cooperate.
So what I'm trying to do right now is get us to actually increase engagement with this page. So is everybody on this Facebook page? Yes, it's USAC election board at UCLA 2019. Please make sure you're on the right one. Do not invite people to the old one. So USAC election board at UCLA 2019. You're going to see at the top there's a ... next to like the like, following, and share. Click there. Click invite friends. I'm going to select all. I don't really care if people in Kentucky follow the page or not. I am going to send invites. So I am sending invites to 2,239 people right now. If we all do this, this page will actually get engagement. And you can click even on this. There are like, you can select people if you want, if you're not a fan of inviting all of them. All this does is just send a notification to them. So personally, I'm not that like upset with annoying my like friends then with like a notification. I would encourage you all to invite as many people as possible and then just send the invite out. I promise you we will have 100 more likes on this page by the end of tonight if you will all do this.
You also attach a personal message.
Yes.
Mine is, please like this page. I am a USAC servant and do this last thing for me. Thank you, I appreciate you. Select all.
So heartfelt.
Instead of doing this last minute during fall quarter, I'm trying to like preempt us to make sure we get publicity for this now. So please do this. And members of the audience, you all can do this too, actually, if you all want to. If you all feel so inclined to engage in the student government processes. That would be great. Look, we just got like, we're literally getting likes right now, like 3 likes in like the last minute. Yes. This was a last minute job, you all. This was a last minute job. Okay. Yeah, we literally got 5 likes in 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so thank you all for doing that. Please do that. Please send it to as many people as possible. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Adam next.
I've been attending the City of LA and County of LA Census 2020 organizing efforts. So if you have people in your office that you want to participate in that, please have them talk with me and I can be there, ride downtown to those meetings when they change. There is one happening Thursday in the mayor's conference room, but I'm not sure. So future.
For those who have been coming to our Friday lunch series, thank you. None come this week because it's Memorial Day weekend. Next Friday, it will be in the room reception room, second floor of this building. And that will be with all of the school advisors. You'll find out which one has been assigned to support your office this year and get a chance to meet with them. The following week, again, in the room reception room, we've invited a wide range of administrators to come and mingle with you. So please do your best to join us at both. And the other thing I'm going to suggest, we've been having a GSA table and a USAC table. And I think there are some topics that you have common interest in. So if perhaps some of you could sit with some of the grad student officers, you've got 12, they only have 4, so it's this lonely little table. I think it would be a good opportunity to meet them and start potential collaborations. And beyond that, if there are specific administrators you'd like to come to the June 7th event, please email me either their name, if you know a name, or their title, like the director of XYZ department. If you don't know the individual's name, or if it's just an issue, you don't even know what department, the person who handles XYZ thing. And then I'll send them invitations and add them to the list of who we're encouraging to come and meet you.
If we're not able to attend, can we like email you and get their contact so we can set up?
Absolutely. If you want introductions to anyone, let me know and I'll facilitate those.
I just want to reiterate the importance of collaborating with GSA. We have a bunch of different things, not limited to, but including appointments. Many of the positions that we appoint to share governance with our Graduate Student Association. So particularly like Board of Governors, SFAC, if there are people that you want to see on those committees or certain types of people with certain values or ideas, please meet with those members of GSA and tell them that. I literally had a meeting with the Vice President a few days ago where I made that clear what my priorities were for BOD and SFAC so that he knew to bring that to GSA and that table as well. Same thing with the publicity campaign. So please keep that in mind and just be on the lookout for that. Let's go on to old business. So our only item for, yes. Jessica, I'm so sorry.
So I'm just gonna pass around the signature sheet, those of you that haven't today yet. This is just our authorization form and people bring their access forms to the office to get access added to your door. So make sure that you sign, this also goes to SGA too, when you sign off on rec forms. So make sure that this is your shorthand signature, how you're gonna sign hundreds of rec forms throughout the year. Just make sure that it's gonna be consistent with that. So if you need to like sign your name all the time before you write it on this sheet, that's fine. And if anybody needs to like update their signature, that's fine. So I'm just gonna pass it this way, and it's in the back. And then hiring paperwork should be available soon. I just emailed Irma to check the status, but as soon as I have that information, I will share it all with you. And then is everybody on their office access? Do you have access to your emails? Like, does anybody like having issues with any of that?
I get like, it's like, you go to ASC email, right? My stuff is like forwarded to like our G Suite.
Yes.
I would be interested in having the access to the original.
Okay, yeah, we can reset the password for any of the ASUCLA ones. And yeah, most people have it forwarded to a Gmail. So, if it's not forwarded to a Gmail, then, just let me know, we can always update the Gmail account too. But, I'll submit access to give you the password.
Anything else before we move on to old business? Okay, so. Our one action of old business is, one is resolution regarding the misrepresentation surrounding UCLA Students for Justice in Palestine. So once again, this is our second week of discussing this, so hopefully, edits, changes, and discussions, can address this, and then we will have a vote one way or another tonight, to approve or not approve this resolution. So with that, Lalo, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so we trying to focus on SAP, just trying to make sure the language is tight, but it's still accurate to the concerns that they had.
One big thing that we did add was the section that I believe Joanna commented. We did add both that just because it did help contextualize a lot of it, as it did directly quote Chancellor Jean Block's op-ed in the LA Times. It's about the bulk of it. It was just tightening up the language, so it wasn't interpreting things more directly saying stuff. The only thing that we're still, I know it was a big point of debate last week and the week before, was the equating support for. That's the thing that we're still iffy on. But yeah, and so I don't know if y'all have any questions or comments, or I don't know if y'all had a chance to look it over. So yeah.
Questions, comments, concerns?
I mean, I will say that my issue with it still hasn't changed from last week. At the end of the day, anti-Semitism is still written in there. It says either directly or by implication, which is then implying that it was wrongly done. And I mean, that's why I wanted to clarify. I said I'm not the voice for all Jewish students on this campus, obviously, but Jews have very wide array of opinions. But that doesn't mean that if Jewish students are feeling threatened, that their feelings are delegitimized. So that is where I'm coming from. I know Jewish students that would consider certain things that have happened to be anti-Semitic. And I don't feel comfortable as a council putting that wording in there, backing up any of those statements either which way, when the resolution itself is dealing with Canary Mission and, the prohibition.
Yeah, no, sorry, the whole time hasn't signed it, okay. Sweet. Comments and questions? Yeah, Justin.
Hi, how's it going, everyone? In English, Justin, in Hebrew, Yitzhak, in Arabic, Yitzhak. Glad to be here again this week. I'm done with bar to everyone celebrating. I read the resolution over, and I think that the increase of the term anti-Semitism should not be mentioned. Primarily because, as Tara mentioned, it is disputed. And I would say, based on the reflection of the majority of Jews, either diaspora or Israel, regardless, anti-Semitism, I think, within the framework of this resolution, should not be mentioned. That's the opinion I'm coming from. I know when I spoke to you yesterday at Hillel, I elaborated on some of those issues, and I'm happy to explain why I'm taking this position, although I find it to be a little bit ridiculous to have to justify it, although there might be other voices in the room who disagree. And yeah, I'm happy to talk about it if you have questions.
My name is Salim. I am happy to be here. I actually agree 100% that it should say, that it should continue to use the word anti-Semitism because meritless accusations of anti-Semitism that conflate anti-Semitism with anti-Zionism have been used to stifle scholarship and advocacy on Palestine, on campus, including at UCLA campus. What this sort of discourse that David Horowitz is advancing and pushing is one that's attempting to push a chilling effect on advocacy and work about Palestine. This is the context in which we put this language inside of the resolution. The other contexts that individuals are referring are, I hear what you're saying, but that's not the context that this resolution is specifically talking about, and the reference that it is, and the reference that the context that is actually we're discussing right now. And I know that you also agree.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Jessie. I'm a founding member of Jewish Voices for Peace at UCLA. And I just want to speak first because I guess we're representing, in some part, groups that we identify with. I appreciate Tara, for example, realizing that there's not one Jewish voice. And I think it would be problematic for any single organization, Hillel included, to act as if they can speak for the entire Jewish community. I personally do not feel that Hillel is a home for me because many of Hillel's organizational principles conflate Zionism with Judaism, which is exactly what Salim is getting at, and what this resolution is trying to piece apart, and that what Gene Block said in that LA Times was to infer that SJP and NSJP's conference is an anti-Semitic organization and it has anti-Semitic principles, whereas it obviously does not. He had no merit to that accusation, and those types of accusations are being used repeatedly to weaponize and to police certain types of activism on campus. And yeah, I just wanted to stand for the record that Jewish Voices for Peace at UCLA strongly endorses the resolution wholeheartedly. And yeah.
Hi all, my name is Josh Roisman. I'm actually a transfer student who just got admitted to Mass Art at UCLA next year. I'm actually involved at Santa Monica College with student life, and I've had a lot of problems with anti-Zionism, anti-Semitic rhetoric on campus. So when I heard Gene Block speak out with this language through the LA Times, and I read that op-ed, I was reassured that UCLA and the administration had Jewish students' backs. Now, the way that we're talking about anti-Semitism now in this distinction, we can have those discussions. But the fact that I felt as a Jewish student, I can come to UCLA and have the support of my, chancellor. That's what brought me here. I need that when I come on campus next year. Thank you.
I'm going to limit public comment from now on. And yeah, go ahead.
I do agree that it is important for the chancellor to voice his opinion, or to not voice his opinion, to support all students on campus, regardless of their identities and their backgrounds, because he is the chancellor of all students, not a specific organization. But if you read the op-ed, in the way that he spoke about students for justice in Palestine, he clearly is again reproducing these mechanisms of repression and silencing these students, which is why we found the op-ed so problematic, and which is why we continue to leave it here, because of the fact that he, again, is perpetuating that notion of repressing people's voices, which is something that I don't believe the chancellor should be doing. I just don't think that he should be taking a public stance on an issue of this nature in a way that demonizes another.
Are we allowed to address comment?
Yes. Wait, Kalechi, did you have your hand up too?
I did.
Okay, so Lily, Kalechi, Tara.
I just want to say, first of all, welcome to UCLA. I'm super excited for you. And I hope that USAC can be a supporting body for you. I do want to clarify that I'm really happy you feel comforted by the chancellor, and I'm standing the way I am on this bill because I want all students to feel that same level of comfort. And right now I'm kind of afraid that that's not the case. So I just hope you can empathize with students who are feeling targeted or discomforted, and we can work together to resolve those issues. And congrats again.
I was basically gonna say what Lily said. I think it's very nice to feel supported by the chancellor, also welcome, congrats. But, I think you must keep, like, all of us must keep in mind when you're not on the end where you feel supported by the chancellor, how easily you could end up, I guess having him disagree. I just want to reiterate like what we were talking about last week, how I feel like we should all be able to see how certain students on campus would not feel supported or safe if the chancellor is explicitly saying he doesn't support your existence here. I think we should.
I have two things. First of all, I know that I'm not going to be able to stop this resolution from happening if it's going to, so I'm not here to like hold this up forever. And I just want to say that. But I do need to keep saying what I believe, and I hope that I think this issue requires a lot of education across the board for all of us to continue learning and growing about it. It's something very complex. For me myself, it's something I've tried to educate myself on and struggle with and have a dialogue with throughout my entire life as a Jewish human. So just saying anyone who wants to talk about these things and they're interested, not in authority on everything, but I'm more than welcoming any form of dialogue with you guys about why I feel certain things. Replying to JPP, while there is a fine line between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism, we can't deny that for some Jewish students, their Zionism intersects with their Judaism. And I just want to be said that like those students should not be told that they're good Jews or bad Jews because they have those feelings. And that's something that personally really hurts me regardless of my own beliefs, is that other people will be naming Jews as good Jews or bad Jews because they believe in the state of Israel, regardless of politics, but as a state. So that is what I have to say on that. And also regarding the chancellor, I'd also just like to bring up that the chancellor issued a statement with all other chancellors in December about the boycott of Israel and condemning it and ostracizing Israeli thinkers and excluding dialogue. So I'm just saying that because it wasn't just like this resolution was passed after the fact, but it's not done like in a way that's completely out of context. It was followed up by all chancellors across the board. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. If anyone wants to see what that is, I have.
1 second, other comments, questions, or concerns by council members? I will say, and just like a reminder that like I want to assume good intention across the board here, is because I hear us falling down a course of dialogue, which is like, oh well, assuming that we're not all here to try to support all students on this campus in the best way possible. And I think that's all of our intentions, even members of the public, is I think all of us just want students to feel safe and welcome on this campus. So if we could avoid language that is leading or implying that some students versus others and vice versa are not here to do that, I would appreciate if we avoid that type of discourse around this resolution. With that, like I can open it up for final comments from the public before we actually move into finally discussing this and then moving on to a vote. Is that cool? Okay, yeah, Justin.
So I came here last week speaking to Hannah, the ex-president of MSA, saying basically like there are Jewish students that disagree with elements of this resolution, like myself, that want to work with you to make this effectively protect all students on campus, right? Like I openly stated I'm against hearing mission and the intimidation tactics that they act on, and as well as the David Horowitz Freedom Center, whatever. Right? So that's a problem. I don't want any students to have to go through that, to have their name or their organization or whatever badmouthed and demonized by some outside actor, right? At the same time, I think just as Kelechi said, I'm just going to speak on that. When you have a resolution that's supposed to protect some people and then it ends up demonizing and ostracizing another, that's exactly what I feel. And I feel like my voice and my identity on campus, like fundamentally, is not welcome here. And so I would definitely just highlight that because of what Tara said, with this consensus between UC chancellors that BDS is problematic and it's discriminatory, and there are students and student organizations that happen to align with that ideology. I don't think it's off the table or discriminatory to say that that might be considered controversial or problematic. That being said, it's also incredibly relevant today because just a few days ago, the German parliament, the Parliament of Germany today passed a resolution in majority from left-wing and right-wing parties together that BDS is an anti-Semitic movement. And so I just want you to have that context of history in our days right now happening in how you're going to evaluate the language of this before you make a final vote. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Temkin. I'm also a founding member of Jewish Voice for Peace and a member of If Not Now for the tune of the organization. I want to second and echo that there should be no conflation with anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. And also the context of the conference is that by its mere advocacy for Palestinian liberation was seen by definition as an anti-Semitic conference. And so I just want to echo that both to uplift the fact that singling out one group of students and in favor of another group of students does not create a safe space for everybody, and actually not commenting at all on opinion on any student group would actually probably be create a more safe space. And I just want to echo that that conflation is used both on a lot of sides of the spectrum, and they should be isolated, and there should be more education to isolate the two from each other.
Any final comments from the public? Are any members of, okay, Matthew, yeah, I'll let you split, are any members of SJP here to speak? Okay, you are all members as well, okay, cool, sweet, thank you. We were just making sure because we wanted people like assisted to be here. Matthew.
Like, I don't want to like speak on it as in like rolling campus safety alliance, because like this has come to like us a lot. Campus safety alliance around like certain issues regarding like this resolution, but also like certain topics around this and like Zionism. But I guess even before the conference, there's been discussion on communication that's come time and time again to campus safety alliance. One of the biggest issues is that when you look at UCLA on the website, there are 214 students, professors who are on there from UCLA list. And on there, they give your name, they get as many socials as they have of you, and they give your, oftentimes they give your workplace and or your address. My friend has his workplace on there, and he has people come into his work and threaten him because he's on the site. And also, like, you look at like the history of intermission and like research it, it has been used by the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, and the FBI to target and harass students of color, the documented students, international students, and black students predominantly. And if you look at their social medias, and you look at the comment threads, it is full of hate, predominantly Islamophobia, and so much more. And it's full of threats. And that's just intermission. If you want to talk about what's been happening on top of intermission on campus, such as like what the lead up to the SJP conference, there was a lot. For one, they tried to sue a student group for using a bear in their logo. I've never seen that done before, and I don't think anyone else has seen that done. For using a bear, and wasn't even a direct bear. I've seen the UCLA bear, actual logo, in the with Raytheon and Boeing listed in the center of it, two war machine companies. On top of that, at the conference, they fined us for using water. And if we want to talk about the delinquent student service, it was the Gene Block letter, which is mentioned in the resolution. That was put in the LA Times, a hugely public newspaper. And it strongly implied that anti-Semitism would happen at the event. City council members, as well as congressional representatives, also spoke out and said the students equated student justice process with anti-Semitism. And a few days later, and this actually came and was talked about at campus safety lines. A few days later, two Muslim women on campus were assaulted. They were hit by a sign by a Zionist and spit on by another Zionist. And now we'll talk about campus safety lines meeting, where the UCT actually ignored it instead of just a confrontation, even though students had come out and given their stories. And then during the conference that I went to, there were masses of people out there, hundreds of people. Would there be that many people if there wasn't an LA Times article? I don't know. But he had to be walked by security from one location to another location. because of how the event was publicized. People outside yelled at us terrorists and held cameras to record us. They actively tried to get close to us and surround us. When we were leaving, they tried to follow students. The police department had to interfere so that students could actually leave and go to their hotels and apartments before heading out from leaving the conference. I personally saw them, the Zionists, point at students and say, hey, follow them. And after the conference, Islamophobia at campus has not stopped. And recently, there's been a huge discussion at CSA. For example, students have been followed on campus. Prayer states behind, this is initially prayer states, but it's like typical traditional people go there and pray. Has been made up with full hate speech and slurs. Across from it, a neo-Nazi flyer being posted. Student promise Islamophobia on campus. And the LA Times article, and a lot of the administrative actions have increased Islamophobia on campus. This resolution is needed.
And I just want to point out that this topic comes up in various capacities of, students feeling welcome and safe on campus in various different ways, multiple times each year, and that is an important issue. And I think that the intention of this resolution, I support the resolution in the fact that I think that supporting student organizations like SJP who have had this rhetoric that's, I think, defamatory thrown out about them through these flyers on campus and elsewhere is horrible and needs to be it needs to be spoken out against in this sort of way. But I also do hear the sentiments of as Gene Block has been, for example, a Jewish leader on our campus saying that he worries that something might be anti-Semitic is perfectly. I think that is a issue that is going somewhat unresolved, and that I would love to have a continued dialogue about. I think that I hear your concerns about why the usage of that being used in like a resolution might be concerning to some members within the Jewish community, and I do want to have that continued dialogue, regardless of if that word is used in this resolution and if it's approved or not in the future. So I appreciate everybody coming out and speaking on this resolution and engaging in this resolution and just reassuring that we all have the best interests of students feeling welcome and safe on this campus, regardless of their affiliation. So with that, are there final thoughts before we move into a vote or a motion? Yes.
I just wanted to reiterate the contents of this resolution for public and for council, just so that we are certain about what we are trying to do here tonight and in the future. I believe as council, some members have stated that this resolution has come up because the student organization approached us with, a reasonable cause. And like the reason was that there was a newspaper spread around campus that was defamatory and really, I think, disappointing to see here at UCLA. I think we get taken advantage of as a public institution. And when we have members coming here to really target, harass, and make students feel unsafe, that USAC does have a responsibility to act upon and to serve our students when they ask us to. So with regards to the resolution, whether it is the whole resolution that you don't agree with or only certain portions, we should not have had to wait for 3 weeks to have to vote on this resolution. We should have been able to take action immediately because this resolution is about asking UCLA administration to be held accountable. Without action, we've stalled that process of making sure our administration, our chancellor, and anyone who can have any opportunity to support student organizations, they have not been able to serve them because we've waited for so long. In the future, I want to make sure that as USAC we move with as much proactivity as possible and understand that this resolution is not just about, all of the broad issues that we have with this. I guess what I'm trying to say is we know that this issue is complex, but the reason that it came about is not. We saw what those newspapers said, and we were supposed to react and address it appropriately. So regarding safety on this campus, immediate issues like this take priority and should be regarded as such.
and in the future, if other student organizations, and I do not want to encourage future organizations to have to go through this. I really hope that more things like this do not happen, but if they do, that you reach out to the council and to anyone that you think could possibly help support you to address this issue in the most productive way possible. And so with that, I want to move on to a vote if possible.
Okay, so yeah, let's get your all choices in and then we'll do a motion. Naomi and then Isabel. Yes, Naomi, Isabel, Lily, Tara, anybody else? Okay.
So I kind of just want to echo what Joanna was saying. And I also want to reemphasize people's role here at the council table. I personally don't find it necessary to have waited 3 weeks and then also have stalled it another week just so that we can have representation from a community that we were elected to represent in general. So I think that it is part of council's responsibility to not only educate themselves about issues such as these, but voice those opinions at the table when they're, when it's required. So yeah, I think that that's something that we should all work on.
Who did I say was next?
Isabel.
Oh, Isabel, yeah, and Lily.
And Kalashi.
Oh, Kalashi, I'm sorry. Oh, Kalashi.
I just wanted to say a brief thing about why we had to wait 3 weeks to vote on this, because this is a very serious and sensitive topic that we're dealing with, and I know it's really frustrating to have to push this for almost a whole month, but the first week, a lot of us literally were just installed, so we hadn't gotten to read it on the first night, and then the second week, we were still trying to get community response, and now this is the third week. So I don't think that there was anything wrong with waiting 3 weeks. I know it's really frustrating and we wanted to vote on this, but we really, really need to hear from the communities, and it takes time to make sure that we're making the right decision to vote on really sensitive topics like this.
Kalashi, Lily.
I'm not.
Oh, sorry, Lily, Kalashi, then Tara.
No. Lily, Tara.
Lily, Tara.
Okay. Hold me accountable. Thank you.
I just wanted to kind of piggyback and reiterate my sentiments from earlier. We're not, as a council, we're not elevating one group or one belief over another. We support everyone. We support all the students. That's our role here on campus. I care about the safety of every student. Our role right now is just to merely condemn these acts of recent violence and hate speech. But thank all of you for coming and sharing your beliefs, and just know that we can consider these issues really, really heavily, and we support all of you, and we really think critically on how to get the best resolution forward.
And first of all, I wrote it well said, because I think rushing this would do justice to people that actually are caring about this issue on all sides, because it's our responsibility to be educated and to know what we're making statements on. By all means, I would love to have voted last week because the subject is thoroughly stressing me out. That being said, I would like to make a comment on public comment. I really think that using the term Zionism to demonize someone is unfair without having had dialogue with people that may identify with what that term means, and you are conflating it with something that you might not know what that means to someone, to other people that use that term. So I think we need to be careful when using that to demonize people, especially when we had a Jewish student who ran out of class this week sobbing because she was demonized for her own identity along those lines. And I think that's something to be discussed entirely on its own. And then last thing is just I want to re-voice my support for the resolution in terms of condemning Canary Mission and David Corley's project, regardless of how I choose to vote. And I'm really grateful to everyone that has done the research and worked hard on this resolution, despite my own issues.
Thank you, Tara, for reaching out to us and talking to all of us and dialogue with us about something.
I just wanted us to keep in mind while discussing how long it's taken for the resolution to get voted on that we were elected to this, like, not by accident, we signed up for it, so I do feel like within a week, you should be able to try to approach, like, educating yourself on the information of the resolution. I'm not sure for everybody, but I do feel like by week 3 versus week 1, like, there's not that much different, like, additional knowledge or finding. I also just wasn't comfortable with us, like, taking so long because, like, we definitely do need to hear from the community, but it doesn't only have to be in this space. And I think we should keep in mind a lot of people don't feel safe in this space, and we should require people to give energy to the space for them to be heard. Like, you don't have to necessarily wait 3 weeks for, like, SJP to show up here. Like, you can go talk to SJP, like, or you can hold space for SJP maybe in your office, but maybe certain members of the communities don't feel safe coming here. And I just feel like us voting on things shouldn't be contingent upon people meeting us at this space. Like, we should be going out to them and going out of our way to learn more about these things, not waiting for people to come here. But that's just, I didn't feel good about going into voting without, like, saying that. I don't feel like in the future, we should require people to meet us here because we are, like, public servants, so, yeah.
I wish I could call in public more, but unfortunately, we have like a designated time for public comment, which is why I try to like extend dialogue. So I'm sorry that I can't continue that because we're trying to like move on with this to other matters that are also important on our agenda. I do want to say though, and I'm not saying this in response to you, Kelechi, I'm just saying this generally to council, is that last week I directly asked if we wanted to table this or not, and like there was very little desire to vote on it that night. So like to me, like please in that moment when I'm asking those sort of things, like as chair about if we should table this or not, please speak up. Like everybody, like whether you wanted it tabled, whether you wanted to vote on it then, please speak up because at that point it literally just comes down to what I say. I'm like, okay, then we'll table it, not knowing that so many people felt like we wanted to vote on it then, or also people that felt like we should wait. Both with valid points and reasoning behind it. I cannot make a decision unless you all speak up about it. Last week when I asked this, everybody was like, table it. So like, which is fine, but like, please, these concerns just on both sides, speak up and communicate that with me so then I can know and like make a decision on whether or not we should table this. Because I hear the validity of both sides saying we should act immediately or give this more time to think about it and become educated on. So like with that, we are going to vote on this tonight, so somebody, unless there are any other final comments, should make a motion so we can vote on this resolution. Yes. Yes. So you don't have to have my permission to motion to vote, so every people can make motions without me. Yeah. Or, sorry, okay, so with a motion, sorry, no, you're good. It's approval, like approve or disapprove. So like I motion to approve the resolution, and then you would read the title.
I motion to approve the resolution called a resolution addressing considerations surrounding citizens'
I second.
Awesome. Okay, so with that, we're going to go to a vote. All in favor of the resolution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All against? 1, and all abstaining. Okay, so by a motion of 8 to 1 to 0, the motion passes and the resolution is approved. Sweet. Okay, thank you all for coming out again, especially members of the public who came out and spoke to us. We know this is not the ideal place to be on Tuesday night as students, and please reach out to any of us if you all have questions or concerns about follow-up. I do want to continue this dialogue. This is an important topic to talk about. So with that, we're going to move on to our new business tonight. The next resolution, so John, you can take it away. Perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. Just talking about what your intention of the resolution is.
So, if y'all want to look at the resolution again, if you are already aware of it or not, I have submitted a resolution for vote tonight regarding entitled a resolution in support of African deportation awareness events. This resolution came up because I was approached by coalition of Asian and Southeast Asian student organizations in an effort to support African deportation events they're having this week and which started last week. doing events regarding this. But this resolution is mostly just to help promote the events or promote anti-deportation awareness and to make sure that we as council continue in the future to support these events. So if you have any questions on the resolution, you can ask me. But yeah, this is basically just to support student organizations that asked me to write this and to get more people to vote to their. Any questions?
If there's not questions or concerns, you can motion.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
So one of the events will be happening on Thursday at 5:30 at Raleigh. So if anyone wants to come out, I will probably be there for like an hour before my class starts. So feel free to text me or something if you want to go together.
I move to approve the resolution in support.
Oh, wait, we don't have quorum. Yeah. Which one now? Okay.
I move to approve resolution in support of anti-deportation awareness.
Okay, all in favor? 1, 2, 3. Wait, let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if I are all against, all abstaining. Sweet. So by motion of 8-0 to 1, the motion passes and the resolution is approved. Who was the second? Oh, sorry, the resolution, right? I don't think you have. Dr. Geller, just the. Okay. Just for future, the sponsors of resolutions can still obviously.
Absolutely, they can vote no.
But they can vote.
Oh, yes.
And yes. They don't have to abstain.
No, what I'm trying to say is that you have 3 sponsors, it doesn't mean they have to be present on the day of the vote.
Okay.
It doesn't mean they have to abstain because they're sponsors, and it doesn't mean they have to vote for it.
Okay.
It's just that you have to have 3 current council members as sponsors for it to come to a vote.
Okay.
But those who are sponsors can do whatever they like, including vote for, vote against, abstain, or not be here.
Okay, with that, we still understand.
Who's the second?
Yeah, sure. Wait, who seconded the motion? Oh, sorry, Isabel. So how was the second abstention? Yeah, okay. Do you still want to abstain? You can vote yes. Okay, so by a motion of 8-0 to 1, the motion passes and the resolution is approved.
It's 9-0.
No, it should be.
No.
802.
Oh, yeah, 9-0 to 1, 9-0 to 1. We're good, y'all. Sorry. This is a numbers game. Okay, wait, so it's 9-0 to 1. Yes, it's okay. So by motion of 9-0 to 1, the motion passes and the resolution is approved. Okay, our final action item on the agenda is a bylaw change, and we'll take that away with Lily.
Do I just stand? Basically, I just wrote a bylaw change to increase the number of appointments to the University Committee of Disability, which is something that they requested. They want to hear more student voices in terms of like the climate for disability. So it increased from 3 to 5, adding 2 additional members.
CRC chair, yes.
So, after some time, so the way that the submission form works is you write like the article and then you write the language that you want. The article is written incorrectly. So we found like where we were trying to change, which is like in the appointment section. And we fixed the article, location. And then the actual language was a little bit unclear. And so we just expanded the language a little bit to make it clear that there are 3 members serving 1 term and 2 members serving 2 years.
Thank you.
Lily, that's okay with you?
Yeah, it was really confusing. They're really outdated.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Thanks for fixing.
And we voted 3-0 to 0.
Dr. Cook?
Can I ask for clarification? Has the actual committee confirmed this?
They asked me for it. I sat on the committee for 2 years, and my term is ending as I'm becoming facilities commissioner. So they asked for more representation, and they wanted 5 people total, was the exact number they gave me, so.
Wonderful. Do you happen to know if they're also interested in more graduate student representation?
I'm sure they would love that. I don't know exactly, but I think they just want any student voices. Right now, I'm the only student sitting on it.
Any comments or questions?
It's increasing by 2. Right now, there are 3. One is for 2 years, and the other is, there are 2 for 1 year, 2 for 1 year, 1 for 2 year. I was a 2-year appointment, and the 1-year appointments never really showed up. So as my term is ending, they really want more student voices. And part of that will be me appointing good people. So.
Questions or comments or a motion?
Motion to approve the suggested bylaw changes to 5169 UCOD.
Awesome. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By motion of 10 to 0 to 0, the motion passes and the bylaw change is approved. Okay, with that, we are going to be ending before 9 p.m. tonight. Dr. Geller, I owe you lunch for any early. We had a bet of how long we would go. So I'll swipe you. I got you. Any final comments or anything from council members before we adjourn?
Thanks for making it short.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to adjourn at 8:49 p.m. Oh, okay. Good and welfare. Oh, members of the public, you are free to go as usual whenever you all want. I invite council members and any members of the public who want to join in on good and welfare. This is a closed session. We're going to talk about our feelings, how our lives are going. Pass around the gavel. Please pass around the sign-in sheet while you pass around the gavel. Or we're going to start with